What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we're going to be checking out a very strong team of Altaria, Lanturn, and Medicham with the recent community day with Talonflame, which has been seen in the Great League meta quite a bit. Lanturn now has some play, everyone. We're seeing a lot of counters like Bastiodon, Azumarill coming to take down Talonflame, and Talonflame itself, and Lanturn is primed now to take on the meta. So we're going to be running with an Altaria lead, Lanturn in the back with Water Gun, which I personally like to help out against Bastiodons and Galarian Stunfisk. You can run with Spark as well, but I will tell you, 50% of the time you're going to wish you had the other move, but Water Gun really helped me out more than Spark. And then Medicham there on safe swap. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this team and these battles. Be sure to smash that like button, and let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, getting into this first battle here. We have Altaria on the lead versus Azumarill. Really bad matchup. We're going to swap right away into Medicham right here. Now, they do decide to swap out into Alolan Marowak, so things are not looking good, but this is why you want to be running with Psychic and Ice Punch here on the safe swap Medicham. Ice Punch will really help out against some flyers and grass. Psychic helps out against stuff like Alolan Marowak or Azumarill, etc. You're going to be hitting neutral damage across the meta. So, Charge Me Now coming through. It's going to be a Shadow Bone. We're going to let it go. What we're looking to do is get energy advantage here on Altaria and hope that Lanturn can close this game out for us. So we're going to go ahead and bring in the Altaria and look to farm down the Alolan Marowak. We're not going to give up a shield to a Shadow Bone. Again, we want to save those shields for this Lanturn looking to close endgame. So Charge Me Now coming through. It's going to be that Shadow Bone. We let it go. That's fine. We're just going to commit to that farm down and now go for a Sky Attack against the Azumarill to start chipping away the health. So Sky Attack now coming through. It's not going to do too much damage. It's neutral against Azumarill, and Azumarill is very bulky. So we're going to go ahead and go into the Lanturn right here, and they swap out, and there's a Galarian Stunfisk now in the back. So something very important, everyone. If you're a Galarian Stunfisk, please build up to Earthquake, because that was a free no shield for me, as you guys could tell. Lanturn is an electric type, a water electric, which means it's going to take super effective damage from Earthquake. So the fact that they only did 5 mud shots right there gave me a massive win condition. All I need to do is go for Water Guns and Thunderbolts. Even though Thunderbolt will be resisted, we can just go for it for that chip damage because Water Gun really helps out here. Now we're going to go ahead and give up our first shield against the potential Earthquake right there, and now we can just completely farm down. This is why Water Gun, I love it so much against Galarian Stunfisk, is because of its ability to farm down. We do shield the Earthquake, completely farm down. Now we're going to go ahead and throw this Thunderbolt here against the Azumarill, and then we're going to have to actually swap into Altaria to make Azumarill have to throw its energy. So we do get a shield, and we're going to go ahead and swap into the Altaria, and they do throw their energy. So this is perfect. This is either going to be an Ice Beam or a Play Rough. It is going to be the Play Rough right here, and then now we can go for this Thunderbolt right here, and this is hopefully going to be taking out the Azumarill, and that will be a good battle. Very well played. So definitely would have been a much closer battle if they built up to Earthquake that first time, but that basically gave me a free no shield, so able to overcome that battle. All right, moving into the next one. Let's see how this battle goes. These battles are going to range, I think, from like rank 9 to rank 11. This is where I played that team. But we have Altaria on the lead versus Galarian Stunfisk. Another terrible matchup. So we're going to go ahead and swap into that Medicham, start getting ahead on energy. And they're staying in way too long. I'm getting so much energy right now, and they bring in a Pelipper right here. This is what's also great with the Psychic Ice Punch. Ice Punch does neutral, same with Psychic, but if you can get a shield with Ice Punch, especially early like this, we can go for a Psychic right here to do a lot more neutral damage because it is stab. Same type attack bonus here on Medicham because of the Psychic typing. So we're going to go ahead and go for this Psychic. If this lands, it's a lot of damage, and I'm concerned that there might actually be a Tropius in the back as well, which wouldn't be too hot, but we do land it, so that is beautiful right here. We're going to go ahead and shield. We want to keep this Medicham as healthy as we can and force that Galarian Stunfisk to throw its energy that it did bring in. Now, I don't know if they'll bring it back in. They do, which means whatever's in the back is probably pretty weak to Medicham as well. So I'm kind of concerned what it could be. If it's a Bastiodon, good for us. But they do decide to throw the Earthquake right here, and Medicham is going to go down. So we can safely bring in the Lanturn, and they won't have enough time to get to an Earthquake. So we're going to go ahead, bring in this Lanturn right here, and start farming down. They're out of energy, so this is going to be 5 mud shots right there. I don't think they would have made it to 7. That would have been a bit different, but Lanturn can survive 1 earthquake. That's very important to note. So they do throw the rock slide, which is fine. We get a bit of lag, but they swap into Venusaur. So we can now bring in the Altaria right here. It's going to take them 2 Sludge Bombs and a bit of extra damage in order to take us out. That's what's great about Altaria. Sludge Bomb does neutral, but it's not too much. We can tank 2 of them, which is great, which means we have time to potentially get to 2 Sky Attacks here against Venusaur. They only have 1 shield left. They will have to shield this charge move because it would one-shot the Venusaur right there, and then they're going to be able to get to another Sludge Bomb in time. Now, hopefully, I think we can survive this right here. I have pretty good PvP IVs on my Altaria, so we do survive, and hopefully I can get to this next Sky Attack. Now, what's dangerous right here is my Altaria possibly being farmed down by the Galarian Stunfisk, right? So I got to take out this Venusaur, and I need to switch as fast as possible. You guys can see me spamming the Lanturn swap, and we're able to take it right there, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. This team was very strong, and I will say a Charmer was definitely tough to deal with, but I don't think I saw it. So we have Galarian Stunfisk again on the lead. This time we're going to try to swap on the rock side, trying to swap on the 5th mud shot right there in order to catch it. But this is why we have Ice Punch as well. This is such a great matchup here for Medicham with energy advantage because we can potentially flip it or stall it out. Dragon Breath only does neutral damage. We have to watch out for the Sky Attack. Yes, it's really starting to add up, but we can survive a lot of Dragon Breaths, but we cannot take a Sky Attack. So we're going to be going for these Ice Punches right here. Does super effective damage, double super effective because of the Dragon Flying typing there on Altaria. So we're going to go ahead and shield right here. We want to keep this Medicham healthy because, you know, they could have something in the back that is weak to it. So we're going to go ahead and throw this next Ice Punch. Now, if this gets a shield, this is definitely looking very good for a Lanturn or Altaria sweep endgame, and we do get a second shield. So I'm going to go ahead and swap into my own Altaria, force them to bring in the Galarian Stunfisk. Now, we're going to save that shield again. I'm hoping to either sweep with the Lanturn. Maybe there's like an Azumarill in the back, right? Or there's, you know, something else that maybe Medicham could do well against. So we're going to go ahead and throw these Sky Attacks right here. It's going to do resisted damage, but this Galarian Stunfisk is going to have to throw its energy. Dragon Breath really starts to add up, same with Sky Attacks, so it can't over-farm too much. This Rock Slide should be enough to take us out right here. Barely not enough, actually, so I can get to another Sky Attack, which is actually kind of nice. This added chip damage is definitely essential, and we're going to bring back in that Medicham to force them to throw energy. So what we're going to do is going to go ahead and bring in the Medicham right here. I want them to throw the energy, possibly an Earthquake. That way Lanturn can come in and farm and look to sweep. I'm guessing there's going to be an Azumarill in the back. That's what I'm reading from this team. There's going to be a Rock Slide, so we don't shield. Thankfully, not able to take us out, but they do have another one, so they're going to go ahead and throw it. And this is where Lanturn is going to come in and farm down and basically try to close this game out for us. So we do bring in the Lanturn. The Altaria tries to come back in. It goes down as well, and the final Pokemon is actually going to be a Sunny Cherum. So things are not over. Buckle up, everyone. It is a game of Is It Solar Beam? So we're going to go ahead and go for Hydro Pump right here. Both Hydro Pump and Thunderbolt are resisted, but man, this is going to be close. So this could be a Solar Beam. This could be a one-shot. We're going to risk it for that biscuit and call a Shield Bait. And it was a Weather Ball. Beautiful. That means we can Water Gun down the Sunny Cherum. We can safely shield this charge move right now. It's probably going to be another Shield Bait, but I cannot let a Solar Beam hit, and it was just a Weather Ball. And now we can farm down, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. We have Altaria now versus Talonflame on the lead. Pretty decent matchup. Talonflame can win this if they throw a Brave Bird. But I'm okay with that because Brave Bird's not going to one-shot me from this health. I think I can survive. So I'm going to go ahead and let this charge move go through and throw a Sky Attack right here. I'm looking to get shield advantage. And they decided to throw the Flame Charge, which is fine. If they let the Sky Attack go through, I can farm down this Talonflame. So they do let it go through. Perfect. I can farm this down. They're not going to be able to get to another charge move in time. And then we'll have to see what is going to be in the back. It's going to be an Azumarill, so we're going to go ahead and stay in this right here. Lanturn can easily come into the Azumarill. We just want to do as much chip damage as we can with the Altaria and force them to use their energy to take it out. So we'll have to see right here. So Charge Me Out coming through, probably going to be the Ice Beam right here. This is going to be taking out Altaria, and we can safely bring in Lanturn to basically hard counter this Azumarill right here. And they do decide to swap now into a Shadow Victory Bell. This is not good. This is not good. This is also why we have Ice Punch. Ice Punch is so clutch against grass, against dragons, neutral damage to like defense form Deoxys, so we need to be getting shields right here. This is not looking good. I'm going to have to shield myself. I need to either flip this matchup and take out the Shadow Victory Bell, which would obviously be a huge win, or I need to get 2 shields, and then it's going to be an absolute nail biter here at the end because it's going to have so much health. So we do get the second shield right there with the Ice Beam. Now we're going to have to bring in the Lanturn, obviously our final Pokemon right here. Oh man, he decided to throw a charge move, so I'm going to have to shield. The Leaf Blade would basically take us out. Azumarill, we don't know if it has Play Rough, and we're going to try to go for Thunderbolt, but they swap into Azumarill, which is a perfect swap on them, soaking this Thunderbolt right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just take out the Azumarill, and then it's going to be a race. Water Gun versus Razor Leaf, please? We take it out with 1 HP and a Dream, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. All right, moving to this next battle, we have Altaria versus Altaria on the lead. Now, when it comes to this team comp right here, most likely on leads that are neutral or mirror leads, I like to get shield advantage. That way Medicham can potentially sweep endgame. So we're going to go ahead and let this charge move go through. It's just going to be a Sky Attack that doesn't take us out, but I'm going to go ahead and go for the Dragon Pulse right here. This is either going to one-shot the Altaria or we get a shield. Shield advantage is definitely very positive for us. So we do get the shield, which is fine. They're going to farm us down. Now we can bring in the Lanturn right here. Because of our electric typing, we resist Sky Attack, which is great, but they do decide to swap into Registeel, which is fine. I can bring in this Medicham right here and really start loading up on energy. Now, Flash Cannon does do a lot of neutral damage, so we will have to start shielding, but I can come out of here with a lot of energy on Medicham. And if we can get a shield as well, it's going to be really awesome. So we're going to go ahead and build up to 2 Ice Punches, go for this first one. It's going to do resisted damage, right? Because of that steel typing. And we do get a shield, however. That is huge right here for us. So I'm actually going to go ahead and let this charge move go through. It's going to be that Flash Cannon, but I need to potentially save a shield for Lanturn at the end. Now, I'm going to build up to 2 more Ice Punches and now throw it. This should do enough chip damage to take out Registeel, considering it is unshielded. If Altaria comes back in, we have an Ice Punch ready to go, and I don't think they're at Sky Attack just yet. So the Altaria does come in. We go ahead and go for this Ice Punch. This will be one-shotting the Altaria. And then we can go ahead and basically swap to Lanturn, and it is going to be a Machamp in the back, so we can swap straight into Lanturn and then just go for the Hydro Pump. Now, I have to watch out for payback, right? We had a bit of lag right there, so I wasn't able to successfully count, but I'm just going to go ahead and shield anyways, and it's just a cross chop, which is fine. We should be able to get to the Hydro Pump in time, and that will be a good battle, very well played to my opponent. So again, showing that, okay, Medicham, if the lead was basically the counter to it, so that flyer, if you give it 2 shields to a 1 shield situation, you can really come out on top. Okay, moving into this next battle. This is a very, very intense battle, everyone. So if you're still here, yeah, buckle up. Here we go. So we have Altaria versus Galarian Stunfisk. Now, I misclick. I click into Lanturn, but they bring in a Tropius. So this automatically tells me that this team right here is Galarian Stunfisk, Pelipper, and Tropius. It's gotta be, right? That's a very common team comp. So we're going to go ahead and let this first Leaf Blade go through. Now what's great about Lanturn right here is we have Thunderbolt, which does neutral to Tropius. Tropius being that grass flying typing, grass resists electric, while flying takes super effective, so it's going to be neutral. Now, what I need to do is really dance the switch button in this game, knowing that they probably have Pelipper in the back. What I'm going to try to do right here is, firstly, I want to get this into a 1-to-1 shield situation. That way, when I switch and I get energy advantage, it's going to give me a huge leg up. So we go ahead and get that shield. Now I'm going to go ahead and swap into Altaria on the charge move to soak it. That's very key right here. Dump this energy into Altaria that is going to be resisted, and we're going to draw back out that Galarian Stunfisk, which is fine. I can now bring in my Medicham once Altaria goes down, farm up for a lot of energy, right? So Galarian Stunfisk going for these rock slides. It's going to take basically 2 rock slides and a lot of farm down in order to take us out, so we can chip away a lot of health here with Altaria with Dragon Breath and Sky Attack. So we're just going to keep throwing these charge moves as fast as we can. We just need to chunk this Galarian Stunfisk as much as possible. That way Medicham doesn't necessarily have to shield a potential Earthquake, right, if it gets too much energy. So rock slide coming through. It's not going to be enough to take us out. Our switch clock is coming back up, so I'm going to go ahead and go for Sky Attack. Now, what I need to do is also save Altaria for a potential sack swap as well. So I'm going to swap straight into my Medicham right here and save the Altaria for a sack swap. They bring in the Pelipper. There we go. So what I need to do right here, this game is intense. It's absolutely intense. This is just going to be a Weather Ball. So I'm going to have to let it go. If they built up to Hurricane, I would have to shield. But what we can do now is go for this Ice Punch right here, threaten with Psychic. Again, like we saw earlier, Ice Punch and Psychic both do neutral damage, but Psychic does so much more. So we do get a shield right there, which is perfect, and we're going to be able to get to this Psychic in time. So we have an Altaria with no health, we have a Lanturn with a bit of energy and a little bit of health, and we have a Medicham right here. So what is likely going to happen after they get to a charge move, we get a defense drop. We're going to let this go. What we need is this Lanturn to try to close this game out for us. So we're going to go ahead and bring in the Lanturn, farm down. They have no shields, so they're going to go ahead and bring in the Galarian Stunfisk, and this is where I should have swapped right away. The second I saw Galarian Stunfisk, I should be swapping to catch that Rock Slide, because now what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to shield this charge move, and Tropius is now going to come in, and this is going to be a race, and I'm going to have to try to sack swap. Do we get it? No, we don't. We're one fast move off. They held it right there, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. So, knowing that the Galarian Stunfisk had energy, I could have anticipated that and swapped, and then I could have farmed down, and it would have been a good game. But hey, very well played to my opponent. That was a sweaty game. All right. Altaria on the lead versus Sableye. Not the best of matchups for our backline, right? Sableye does really well against Medicham, so what we're looking to do is similar to the Talonflame, similar to the Altaria. We're looking to get shield advantage. If we can take out the potential hardest counter to a Medicham and give ourselves a 2-to-1 shield situation here on lead, things are looking very, very good. So we're just going to go ahead and go for Sky Attack right here. We do get a shield. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and let them throw the next foul play. So they do get to it. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and let this go. Let Altaria go down. Again, if we can take out this Sableye on the lead, Medicham is looking extremely strong. So we're going to go ahead and bring in Lanturn and farm down. Now, this is not a purified Sableye, which means it doesn't have return, so I don't need to be threatened by that. We're going to go ahead and let the foul play go through. Again, giving shields to Medicham with this hard counter on the lead. We farm down, and we'll have to see what they have in the back. They only have one shield left, and it's going to be a Swalot. Super spicy. We're going to go ahead and go for the Hydro Pump. This is going to do a lot of neutral damage, and we do see that it lands, but it doesn't take it. This thing is very bulky. Now they have a Mandibuzz in the back. This Mandibuzz as well running with Snarl, which means it's going to be gaining energy very quickly, but thankfully, again, we have Ice Punch, super effective damage, but Mandibuzz is an absolute tank. It's a flying Umbreon, right? Absolute tank, but thankfully we can go ahead. We're going to let this first one go through. I want to see how much damage Aerial Ace does, and it's actually quite a bit. So we're going to have to start shielding as well, but our win condition now is basically with Lanturn. So we're going to go ahead and shield this next Aerial Ace. We want to get as much damage off with Ice Punches as we can, plus counter is doing neutral damage, which is pretty nice. So we're going to go ahead and get 2 Ice Punches off right here. We should be getting a shield potentially from this Mandibuzz on either this first or second Ice Punch. We get it on the first, so we're going to go ahead and go for this next one, and then we're going to swap right away into the Lanturn. That way we can soak the charge move, and we can... Do we get it? Yeah, we do swap. Now, sadly, I'm going to go ahead and let this go, hoping that it's Aerial Ace, which is going to be resisted, which it is. Perfect. Now, they do swap into the Swalot right here. And man, this energy gain from Infestation has to be respected. So we're going to go ahead and shield right here. I think it's going to be a Sludge Bomb, which it is. And now it's going to be a race to get to that Thunderbolt right here if I can. I do get to the Thunderbolt just in time. So a super spicy team right there from my opponent. This Thunderbolt will be taking out the Swalot. And then we can basically fast move down the Mandibuzz. And that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. Let's see, these are some sweaty games. This team's very, very strong. But like I said at the beginning, a Charmer is definitely tough to deal with. So we have Galvantula here on the lead. Again, somewhat of a neutral matchup. I'm looking to get shield advantage with this one. Discharge also only does neutral damage to us. We're part Dragon typing. Dragon resists that electric typing while Flying takes super effective. So we don't necessarily have to shield this first one. It is going to be a Discharge right here. We're going to go ahead and go for Sky Attack. This is still going to do quite a bit of damage to the Galvantula if they decide not to shield. So we'll likely be seeing shields off the start, which is great. So we do get a shield, and then they are going to try to go for another charge move, but they decide to swap into Galarian Stunfisk, which is fine with me. I can come in and hard farm this thing. I think I do decide to shield this first charge move. They typically go for Earthquake. No, I let it go. It is going to be the Earthquake. Typically, Galarian Stunfisk on safe swap right there will just go for the Earthquake. They want to get a shield or do the health. But Lanturn is also looking pretty good endgame. I'm reading that, okay, if they had Galvantula on lead, Galarian Stunfisk, I'm guessing they might have a Azumarill on the back, which is where Lanturn can do really well. So we're going to go ahead and let this charge move go through. It's just going to be a Rock Slide. They didn't build up to the Earthquake, and we can farm down right here. So now we can throw that Ice Punch against the Galvantula, which does have a charge move ready to go, so we may lose the CMP tie, which we do, but that's okay. It just threw all of its energy, which means Altaria now can come in and farm down because we can survive those Volt Switches. So we have still a decent amount of health here on Altaria, so we're going to go ahead and come in, farm down, and then we'll have to see what the final Pokemon is going to be. It is going to be a Vigoroth, actually, which is pretty good for us anyways. We can go ahead and throw this Sky Attack, force the final shield here from the Vigoroth, swap into Lanturn with 2 shields, and then just go for the Hydro Pump, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. Now, Vigoroth does also have access to Bulldoze, which will do super effective damage. It won't one-shot if you have a near full health Lanturn right here, but we're going to go ahead and shield anyways, and that will be a good battle. They do decide to surrender right there. Altaria on the lead versus Defense Form Deoxys. Okay, so somewhat of a decent matchup right here. It depends on their moveset. If they have Rock Slide, it's not as good of a matchup for us, but if they only have Psycho Boost and Thunderbolt, then it's definitely better. But they just swapped perfectly on our charge move into Galarian Stunfisk. So we're going to go ahead and swap into the Medicham right now. Again, looking to load up on some energy, and I think in this battle I do decide to go for the shield first. We'll have to see. Yeah, I do decide to go for the shield first, but they went for the Rock Slide right there. I'm like, oh man, I can never win. So we're going to go ahead and throw this Ice Punch right here. It does neutral damage because of that Ground Steel typing. Ground takes super effective from Ice. Steel resists it. But it's not enough to take it out, but we do get it with the next counter. So we'll probably see Defense Form Deoxys come back in. And again, this is why we have Ice Punch. It's so versatile in its coverage. Again, those Grass Pokemon that we saw, the Altaria that we saw, now neutral to Defense Form Deoxys, which is definitely essential right here. So we're just going to keep throwing these Ice Punches. Now they threw a Thunderbolt right there, which may tell me that, okay, they might actually have Rock Slide, but I'm going to go ahead and swap back into Altaria. I'm reading that they potentially could have a Bastiodon in the back, seeing as they safe swapped the Galarian Stunfisk. Typically when that is safe swapped, there's an Bastiodon in the back, but it's actually a Azumarill, which is perfectly fine for us. This is why Lanturn is such a lockdown to Azumarill. We can just throw these Sky Attacks and make them throw their energy right here. Now the game isn't over. They still have 2 charge moves, but hopefully we can get to another Sky Attack in time, which we do. And this Azumarill is doing a very good job of overloading on energy. That way it has plenty for the back end, but we do get a shield right there, which definitely helps us out with this Lanturn matchup. So they're going to have to throw their charge move soon enough. They overcharge right there, well over 100. I think they did 11 bubbles. So Play Rough will take us out. So they do have Play Rough. We need to note that. So now we're going to go ahead and bring in the Lanturn right here. It's an absolute wall to an Azumarill. Play Rough does do neutral damage, but we don't necessarily have to shield that first one. So we'll have to see how this plays out. We'll likely see a Defense Form Deoxys swap back in at some point. Here it comes. We're going to go ahead and swap now to Actually, no, I think I just decide to shield this next charge move. Yeah, I do decide to shield. It is going to be a Psycho Boost, so now I can farm down and then go for a Thunderbolt right here, but they do decide to surrender. So I would have gone for a Thunderbolt, brought in the Medicham, and gone for a Psychic, and that would have basically been a good battle. Alright, moving to this next one, we have Altaria versus Mew on the lead. Again, a neutral matchup for Altaria versus Mew, but a bad matchup for Medicham, so this is probably their only counter to Medicham. So what we're going to do, we're going to look to give ourselves shield advantage with Medicham, so we're not going to shield at all. They threw it right away. Typically, if Mews are going to be going for back-to-back wild charges, they build up to 2 and then throw, but this Mew decided to throw right away, which means it was probably Flame Charge. So they do decide to shield. That's fine. We got ourselves shield advantage, exactly what I wanted, and this now could be a wild charge, which is fine. I can bring in Lanturn and farm down, but it's actually just going to be another Flame Charge, which means we can potentially get to another Sky Attack, and if we get 2 shields right here, this is looking really, really good for a sweep end game. So we're going to go ahead and throw this Sky Attack right here. We do get the second shield. This is basically bad news bears for my opponent. Water Gun on Lanturn is so spammy, so we might actually be able to take it out before they get to a charge move, and we do. So the Mew goes down. We have 2 shields. Registeel's in the back. We're going to go ahead and swap into the Medicham, and they bring in an Azumarill. This is basically going to be a good game. Psychic does neutral damage, which is why you guys want to have it. It's very helpful, like we saw earlier in the video against Alolan Marowak. It's very helpful against Pelipper. It's very helpful against Azumarill. Definitely want to have it. It's good in the mirror as well. So you could run with Power Up Punch, but I really like Ice Punch here on Medicham. So we're going to go ahead and shield right there. That was just an Ice Beam. And hopefully I can get to another Psychic in time, which I can. This should just be enough to take it out. And considering they threw an Ice Beam, I'm guessing they don't have Play Rough, so I think I'm not going to shield this next charge move right here. I think actually I may shield this one. Let's see. No, I let it go. It's just going to be an Ice Beam. That's fine. I can take down the Registeel with Lanturn anyways. So we're just going to go ahead and bring it in, and then we're going to go ahead and let this... No, I do decide to shield right here against the shiny Registeel. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and shield. I want to do as much counter damage as I can. And then we're going to go ahead and just go for a Psychic. Both Psychic and Ice Punch will be resisted, but Psychic's going to do more damage because of the same type attack bonus, plus it's a harder hitting charge move, right? And then we're going to go ahead and just swap into the Lanturn and Water Gun down. They're going to have to throw a Focus Blast right here, and it's still not going to be enough to one-shot. So the Focus Blast does land nowhere near. That's like 50%, and we can just Water Gun down, and that will be a good battle. Very well played, and I believe that was the final one right there. So this team is very strong. It's very meta. Lanturn hasn't been able to have a lot of play, but like I said, with Talonflame coming into the meta, you can definitely destroy a Talonflame. You're going to be seeing a lot more Bastiodons and Azumarills, which is why it does so well. Like I said, this team doesn't like Charmers, so I didn't face one in 20 battles. I went 15-5 with this team. But overall, it's very strong. So let me know what you guys think about this team and these battles. And like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.